In today's fast-paced world, we often don't have time to prepare elaborate meals, so having some good 10-minute recipes really comes in handy. Lucky for you, I have prepared a list of 50 forgotten 10-minute recipes no one makes anymore. Though overshadowed by modern fast foods, quick chopped liver on rye endures as a testament to adaptability and rich culinary heritage. Historically, chopped liver found its niche in Eastern European Jewish homes, where families prized its affordability and robust nutritional profile. Even during times of scarcity, the recipe thrived, packing intense flavors into a straightforward package. With a ready-made liver spread slathered on dense rye, preparation becomes a breeze, sparing busy households from lengthy cooking sessions. Its smooth texture and savory notes contrast beautifully with the bread's satisfying crunch, lending each bite a subtle complexity that defies its simple construction. Many who sample this old favorite joke that it's a dish only a mother could love, but the punchline is in its enduring popularity across generations. Nutritional experts have long noted that organ meats supply essential vitamins, underscoring their practical value when shopping on a budget. By combining time-honored tradition with modern convenience, this dish proves that hearty meals needn't be complicated. During wartime rationing, a square tin became a household staple and soon found its way into countless recipes. Spam fritters, introduced as a quick, budget-friendly meal, capitalized on the product's affordability and distinctive savoriness. The result combined convenience with a golden crunch, allowing families to transform humble slices of canned meat into a comforting treat. Battered and fried to perfection, these fritters delivered a surprising burst of flavor beneath their crisp exterior, appealing to those seeking both simplicity and nostalgia. Indeed, historians note that canned luncheon meat was first introduced in 1937, catching on due to its long shelf life and versatility. Some comedic enthusiasts even quip that Spam is the original instant classic, thriving under demanding conditions and limited resources. The popularity of Spam fritters skyrocketed during and after World War II, when cost-effective ingredients were essential and every leftover was highly prized. In present times, this dish proves that resourcefulness can taste remarkably good, particularly when served with tangy dipping sauces or fresh sides. The crispy edges, tender interior, and hints of smoky saltiness highlight the enduring attraction of a recipe that has traversed decades. In countless American households, an unlikely pairing of tender greens and sizzling bacon has stood the test of time, bridging convenience and bold flavor with minimal fuss. Quick spinach salad with warm bacon dressing gained traction decades ago, appearing frequently at Sunday dinners and potluck gatherings, revered for its synergy of tangy dressing and crisp toppings that do not require hours of prep. Nutritional experts have lauded spinach for its wealth of vitamins, explaining why it enjoyed a renaissance during health-conscious movements of the 20th century. Yet tradition also holds strong. Bacon's salty, savory bite melds beautifully with the lightly wilted leaves, producing a combination that feels indulgent while remaining surprisingly straightforward to prepare. One comedic spin on the matter suggests that bacon itself could make cardboard taste irresistible, but pairing it with fresh spinach truly elevates the dish to an artful balance of crisp and tender textures. This warm dressing poured over raw greens harks back to simpler times when families cooked resourcefully, blending tangy vinegar, a hint of sweetness, and bacon drippings into a single pan sauce. The entire process can unfold in 10 minutes, or less, if the bacon is already crisp from breakfast. Contrary to the elaborate culinary trends of modern dining, there's a timeless approach that merges convenience with a playful nod to the past. Retro tuna salad cup, once a favorite on 1950s buffet tables, epitomizes the synergy between quick assembly and gratifying flavors. Historically, tuna skyrocketed in popularity after World War II, when canned fish became a dependable staple in countless American households. The dish's appeal lies not only in its minimal ingredient list, but also in the crisp, refreshing texture that contrasts vibrantly with the creamy filling. Experts have often praised tuna's generous protein and essential nutrients, while home cooks appreciate the ability to whip up a family-friendly lunch with minimal fuss. Some quip that it's one of the few items that can hide wilted lettuce's questionable state, although a freshly washed bed of lettuce is always recommended. Indeed, the concept of presenting individual servings in lettuce cups dates back to an era enamored with elegant simplicity, an era that prized wholesome comfort over showy extravagance. By capitalizing on the combination of mayonnaise, crunchy celery, and subtle spices, this preparation delivers a taste that feels both nostalgic and contemporary. Gone are the days when an elaborate breakfast demanded pans, spatulas, and endless cleanup. Ingeniously capturing the essence of a quick morning fix, microwave Mug Omelet merges practical convenience with a dash of culinary nostalgia. Many home cooks recall the 1970s introduction of the microwave, which revolutionized meal preparation and inspired an avalanche of rapid one-vessel recipes. By simply whisking eggs with diced vegetables, cheese, or herbs, and then heating them in a sturdy mug, anyone can achieve a fluffy, protein-rich breakfast in under 2 minutes. This technique, celebrated for its simplicity and accessibility, offers a minimal mess solution that resonates with busy individuals seeking a flavorful start to the day. Nutritional data underscores eggs as a reliable source of essential nutrients, and combining them with fresh add-ins boosts overall appeal. Taste and texture remain surprisingly satisfying, especially when warm cheese melts into every tender bite. The entire process harks back to an era when microwaves were cutting edge, and people yearned for labor-saving techniques without sacrificing home-cooked goodness. In culinary circles, shrimp scampi often conjures images of sophisticated restaurants, yet it can be crafted in a flash at home without fuss. Earning the moniker Speedy, this streamlined version harnesses fresh shrimp, garlic, butter, and lemon to produce a dazzling entree in mere minutes. Historical records indicate that the term scampi originally referred to small lobsters known as langoustines in Italy, but American cooks embraced shrimp for a more accessible twist on the classic approach. Even minimalists find it gratifying. A swift sauté brings out succulent textures while blending buttery richness with citrus tang. Devotees consider it an ideal solution when time is scarce, but flavor must shine. Some playfully note that it keeps dinner guests from scuttling off early, thanks to its irresistible aroma. Indeed, experts praise shrimp as a great source of lean protein, and with modern supply chains, it remains widely available. Because ingredients are straightforward and easy to obtain, this recipe demonstrates that culinary elegance doesn't require intricate steps or hours of work. Served over pasta or alongside crusty bread, the warm, garlicky sauce appeals to both connoisseurs and casual diners. In many modern kitchens, time remains a precious commodity, but certain comforting dishes remind us that speed need not overshadow tradition. Instant egg drop soup fits this mold perfectly, bridging centuries-old techniques with modern convenience. Historically, egg drop soup features lightly whisked eggs stirred into steaming broth, forming delicate ribbons that float amidst savory flavors. Culinary records trace its roots back to Chinese cuisine, where efficiency in preparation blended seamlessly with nutritional balance. Restaurants popularized the dish in the United States throughout the 20th century, and home cooks embraced it for its swift assembly and gentle warmth. The texture stands out for its silky egg ribbons, complemented by subtle onion or scallion notes, culminating in a delightfully simple bowl. The entire process, from boiling water to swirling eggs, can be completed in under 10 minutes, ensuring that families with hectic schedules find a hearty remedy for weeknight dinners. Versatility emerges as well, as one can season it with ginger, soy sauce, or even leftover vegetables. It's a testament to how minimal ingredients can yield maximum comfort. Garlic-scented, spicy, and elegantly minimal, this Italian treasure draws hungry fans with its impressive simplicity. 10-minute pasta Aglio e Olio soared in popularity thanks to its swift cooking time, making it ideal for busy households yearning for full-bodied flavor. Historians trace its roots to Naples, where garlic, oil, and chili flakes found their way into countless frugal suppers, proving that even minimal ingredients can create culinary magic. Enthusiasts often joke that this one-pot wonder is proof you don't need a full Italian culinary degree to impress guests, though precision in cooking pasta al dente remains key. Simplicity and accessibility shine through as garlic-infused olive oil blankets each strand, introducing a subtle heat that blends beautifully with the starchy richness. Nostalgia lingers because generations have embraced it as an homage to rustic Italian peasant cooking, where fancy sauces take a back seat to wholesome foundations. For those keeping an eye on speed, a 10-minute cook time makes this enticing for weeknight dinners, unexpected guests, or even late-night cravings. Some consider grilled cheese the ultimate comfort sandwich, but there's an old-school spin that adds a refreshing surprise. Retro grilled cheese with a twist merges timeless nostalgia with modern flair, making it a swift option for busy weeknights. Historically, grilled cheese soared in popularity when affordable sliced bread and processed cheese took center stage during the mid-20th century, appealing to families seeking easy, budget-friendly meals. The fundamental pairing of molten cheese and crisp, buttery bread remains irresistible, yet this variation introduces tomato slices or aromatic herbs, imbuing new layers of flavor and texture. It's not rocket science, but it might just make you a local legend among your neighbors. Experts note that tomatoes contribute a juicy brightness, offsetting the richness of melted cheese, and the potential for creative add-ons is endless. Many appreciate the speed at which this sandwich can be prepared, typically in less than 10 minutes, satisfying urgent cravings without sacrificing taste. Lining up these ingredients on the countertop and warming a skillet or griddle seamlessly fits the pace of modern life. A staple of potlucks and holiday gatherings, deviled egg redux breathes new life into a venerable classic. Early references to deviled eggs date back to ancient Rome, although the term deviled gained traction in 18th century Britain to describe spiced dishes. The modern spin often features tangy additions like Dijon mustard or a hint of vinegar, ensuring a zesty bite that balances the inherent creaminess of the yolk mixture. Culinary historians note that mayonnaise-based fillings became popular in the mid-1900s, appealing to a generation seeking straightforward, crowd-pleasing appetizers. Even home cooks pressed for time can whip them together in minutes. Simply boil, peel, halve, and blend. With minimal ingredients and easy assembly, these bite-sized treats perfectly combine speed and convenience. Their portability contributes to their enduring popularity, whether they appear at a casual brunch or a formal dinner. While the nostalgic factor remains strong, variations continue to emerge, showcasing unexpected garnishes like smoked paprika or crumbled bacon. Some folks joke that deviled eggs disappear faster than free donuts on a Monday morning, testifying to their irresistible charm. Bubbling cheese and sizzling tortillas often bring back fond memories of quick comfort food shared among friends or family. 10-minute quesadillas have risen to prominence as a fast, satisfying option, merging convenience with the vibrant flavors of Mexican-inspired cooking. Culinary historians trace the origins of the quesadilla back to colonial Mexico, when indigenous corn tortillas combined with European cheese to create a versatile dish prized for its minimal ingredients. Modern home cooks appreciate the simplicity of tossing shredded cheese and optional fillings, such as chopped peppers, leftover chicken, or sautéed onions, between two tortillas, then heating them until gooey in a skillet or on a griddle. The quick assembly allows even the busiest households to enjoy a warm, satisfying meal without extensive preparation. Some folks jokingly refer to this recipe as the emergency dinner lifesaver, while nutrition experts highlight that using whole wheat tortillas and lean proteins can enhance its health factor. Emphasizing both speed and nostalgia, these quesadillas recall those carefree family nights when children hovered around the kitchen, eager for every melty bite. Crisp bacon, juicy tomatoes, and crunchy lettuce layered between slices of toasted bread might seem ordinary, yet they form a timeless favorite that transcends culinary fads. Often referred to as the old-fashioned BLT, this sandwich exemplifies the essence of speed and convenience, delivering a hearty meal with minimal preparation time. Culinary historians trace its lineage to early 20th century American diners, where bacon, lettuce, and tomato combined to create a balanced combination of savory, fresh, and tangy flavors. Some enthusiasts humorously claim that BLT stands for Better Lunch Triumph, reflecting its universal appeal and simple construction. Though easy to assemble, this sandwich boasts complex layers of taste and texture. The smoky crispness of bacon, paired with refreshing lettuce and the natural sweetness of a vine-ripened tomato, culminates in a harmonious bite that satisfies almost any midday craving. Nostalgia emerges each time it appears on a plate, as countless childhood memories revolve around that first crunchy mouthful. Its accessibility means that even cooks with limited time or confidence can excel at preparing this familiar treat. Few breakfast options demonstrate how swiftly a straightforward idea can become an enduring classic, quite like Egg-n-dine Toast. Although the precise origin of this nostalgic treat remains debated, many families remember discovering it in mid-century cookbooks, where easy instructions and common ingredients led to universal popularity. By quickly scrambling fresh eggs and layering them over crisp, buttered bread, this dish embodies impressive speed and convenience. Recipes of the 1950s often praised its capacity to fuel energetic mornings, especially when garnished with a dash of paprika or chopped chives. The texture showcases a satisfying contrast: fluffy eggs perched on warm, crunchy toast that yields a gentle snap with every bite. Some lightheartedly remark that it's the perfect way to dress up a plain slice of bread without resorting to fancy equipment or time-consuming techniques. Modern cooks value its simplicity and accessibility, recognizing that a few cracked eggs and basic seasonings can create a wholesome meal within minutes. Nutritional experts point out that eggs provide quality protein, fueling busy schedules on hectic weekdays. In a world where quick meals often reign supreme, few dishes marry efficiency with broad appeal as effortlessly. 10-minute chicken salad offers a swift solution for lunch or dinner, delivering hearty flavor without prolonged preparation. Culinary historians trace the general concept of chicken salad back to 19th-century American cookbooks, though it gained greater traction in households once conveniently pre-cooked poultry became commonplace. Creamy dressing, crisp celery, and succulent meat provide an enjoyable interplay of textures, while the addition of fresh herbs or a sprinkle of pepper imparts a gentle lift to each bite. Certain enthusiasts quip that it's the ideal way to use up leftover produce and still come across like a gourmet magician. Nostalgia surfaces in memories of summer picnics, when this simple dish reliably pleased children and adults alike. Economical ingredients keep it accessible, appealing to those who recall an era when wasting food was frowned upon and clever resourcefulness thrived. Modern shortcuts, such as rotisserie chicken or prepared veggies, further underscore its speed and convenience, ensuring that even packed schedules can accommodate a homemade meal. In the realm of no-fuss lunches, there's an easy concept that merges convenience with satisfying flavor. The ham and Swiss roll-up soared in popularity during the mid-20th century, when quick sandwich solutions became standard for busy households. By layering deli-sliced ham and Swiss cheese, then rolling them with a hint of tangy mustard, families could prepare a crowd-pleasing snack or light meal in under 5 minutes. Some comedic observers note it's the perfect dish for those who find sandwich bread superfluous, but nutrition experts appreciate its potential for lower-carb adaptation. Beyond its speed, the combination of savory ham and creamy Swiss imparts an enjoyable interplay of flavors, while the rolled format adds a playful texture. Historically, this approach aligns with the trend of finger foods that gained traction at potluck gatherings and backyard parties in the 1950s and 1960s. The minimal ingredient list highlights simplicity, making it accessible to nearly any home cook. Whether served as a quick lunch or a party appetizer, it evokes nostalgia for an era that prized resourcefulness in the kitchen. During the mid-20th century, as families juggled busy schedules and searched for simpler mealtime options, a fuss-free favorite quietly took center stage. Known as tuna cracker salad, this quick combination of canned tuna, diced pickles, and creamy mayonnaise served atop crunchy crackers delivered both convenience and an unexpected burst of flavor. Culinary historians trace the ascent of canned tuna to World War II rationing, when it provided an affordable protein source for countless households. Generations soon embraced the practice of enhancing that basic fish mixture with tangy ingredients, creating a versatile snack or light lunch that required minimal effort. Some observers humorously dubbed it the fastest catch of the day, pointing to how swiftly it can be assembled compared to more elaborate meals. Meanwhile, texture emerges as a central point of appeal, blending the delicate smoothness of seasoned tuna with the crisp snap of the cracker. Nostalgia lingers in each bite, conjuring memories of after-school gatherings or casual potluck get-togethers where practicality reigned supreme. Captivating sweet tooths for generations, this modern spin on an old-fashioned treat exudes practicality at every step. Microwave apple crisp soared in popularity once microwave ovens found their way into everyday kitchens during the 1970s, granting families a shortcut to indulge in warm, fruit-filled desserts. Some comedic souls dub it the orchard in a bowl for the time-pressed crowd, highlighting how swiftly fresh apples transform under a blanket of buttery oats, sugar, and cinnamon. Historically, variations of fruit crisps date back to at least the early 1900s in the United States, but never before had they been prepared in mere minutes. While the microwave's arrival revolutionized countless recipes, this comforting dessert retains the hallmark aroma of baked apples and spiced topping, ensuring a pleasing contrast between tender fruit and crumbly crust. Culinary experts confirm that apples supply essential nutrients, underscoring its practical appeal for health-conscious dessert lovers. Its simplicity ensures that even novices can assemble it swiftly, combining pantry staples such as oats, flour, and sugar. Texture remains a major draw, with each spoonful delivering warmth, softness, and subtle crunch. Ultimately, it stands as an inviting reminder that effortless preparation can harmonize seamlessly with satisfying sweetness in a single dish. In countless family kitchens, Speedy rice pilaf stands as a testament to how resourcefulness can satisfy palates in minutes. Historically, pilaf traces back centuries to Middle Eastern and Central Asian cuisines, though it found renewed popularity across the United States as packaged convenience foods gained momentum in the 20th century. Some comedic observers say it's a dish that never retires, showcasing staying power in households across the country. At its core, this recipe relies on briefly sautéing onions in a dash of oil, then combining quick-cooking rice with flavorful spices, ensuring a well-rounded taste without prolonged stovetop watch. The resulting texture is fluffy yet distinct, offering a balance of softness and gentle bite that appeals to all ages. Nostalgia emerges when recalling mid-century TV commercials that championed instant rice, promising a perfect side dish ready faster than a station break. Today, home cooks still appreciate its no-fuss approach, which requires only basic ingredients and minimal monitoring. The convenience resonates with those juggling busy schedules, who often joke that any dish requiring more than 10 minutes conflicts with precious downtime. Once a humble side dish favored in classic steakhouse settings, garlic butter mushrooms combine convenience with old-fashioned appeal. Across mid-century homes, mushrooms were praised for their distinctive earthiness and ability to soak up flavors, though some comedic observers quip that these little sponges find redemption in enough melted butter and garlic. Indeed, this swift recipe capitalizes on minimal ingredients, mushrooms, butter, garlic, and herbs, to create a robust union of savory undertones and tender texture. From stovetop to table, the entire process unfolds in minutes, making it a valuable option for busy families balancing packed schedules. Experts note that mushrooms, often referred to as nature's hidden gems, offer vitamins and minerals that complement balanced meals. For those prioritizing efficiency, there's no complicated technique involved. Simply sauté and season, ensuring that flavor remains front and center. This straightforward approach underscores the accessibility of an ageless favorite. No advanced culinary training required. In times of hectic schedules, a savory bowl of noodles can feel like an instant remedy for dinner-time stress. With 10-minute stir-fried noodles, there is minimal chopping, easy cleanup, and undeniable flavor. Speed is paramount here. People balancing work and family can still enjoy a hearty meal. Historically, noodles have held a revered place in Asian cuisine, with archaeologists finding the earliest examples in China over 4,000 years ago. This updated recipe calls for quick-cooked noodles, fresh vegetables, and a splash of soy sauce, culminating in a meal both satisfying and straightforward. Some home cooks joke that stir-frying is the official sport of last-minute dinners, praising its capacity to salvage any leftover produce. Texture remains a hallmark, combining crisp, tender vegetables with pleasantly chewy noodles. Nostalgia factors in as many recall the era when simple stir-fries gained traction in American kitchens during the 1970s. Meanwhile, accessibility stands out since few specialized ingredients are required and the entire process relies on a single pan. Many families rely on leftover rice to create a swift, satisfying meal after a busy day. Quick-fried rice, a versatile staple in Chinese kitchens for centuries, found its way into American homes during the mid-20th century as a simple strategy to repurpose extra ingredients. Versatility stands at the heart of this dish. A handful of vegetables, a splash of soy sauce, and possibly scrambled egg transform plain grains into a hearty platter. Some fans jokingly call it the ultimate refrigerator clean-out, while culinary historians confirm that stir-frying has existed for hundreds of years, prized for speed and efficiency. Nostalgia arises whenever sizzling bits of onion and garlic fill the air, recalling those comforting suppers of days gone by. Some still appreciate how quickly it can be prepared without sacrificing taste. Texture contrasts matter here. Crisp veggies pair seamlessly with soft, savory rice, creating a balance that pleases nearly any palate. Minimal equipment is required, and the process is accessible to novices and seasoned cooks alike. No complicated ingredients are necessary. In just a few minutes, dinner is ready, delivering both convenience and satisfying flavor. During mid-century potlucks, families often relied on pantry staples to whip up vibrant dishes at a moment's notice. This colorful medley typically combined different canned beans, chopped onions, and a simple vinaigrette, celebrating speed and convenience above all else. Culinary historians credit post-war marketing campaigns with popularizing the humble bean mix, as home cooks saw it as a thrifty and reliable way to feed guests quickly. The sweet and sour tang, balanced by the satisfying texture of tender beans, continues to evoke nostalgia for summertime picnics and cheerful backyard gatherings. Many laud its simplicity and accessibility, noting that nothing more than a can opener and a basic chopping board is required. Some households toss in bell peppers or celery for crunch, while others prefer a sprinkling of herbs to add brightness. Flavor and texture remain paramount. Each bite merges the mild creaminess of beans with the zesty snap of onions and vinegar. A few comedic fans joke that bean salad is the ultimate test of group etiquette. There's always that one person who can't resist more helpings, and they're not shy about it. In many kitchens, the comforting aroma of a steamy bowl conjures memories of simpler evenings shared with loved ones. Instant tomato soup, a swift solution for hungry families, gained considerable momentum when processed foods took off in the early 20th century. Culinary historians point to its rising popularity as a prime example of how convenience foods dominated American pantries. Despite its rapid preparation time, the soup's smooth texture and mildly tangy flavor still deliver satisfying warmth that appeals to palates of all ages. Those who relish nostalgia might remember cozying up with a hot mug after a long day, while busy professionals champion its speed and convenience. Interestingly, tomatoes supply a generous helping of vitamin C, making this option more than just comfort in a cup. Some folks even joke that it's the Red Rescue, swooping in to save anyone from a dull dinner crisis. Simplicity and accessibility guide the entire process. Boil water, stir in tomato base, and add a dash of seasoning if desired. The result is a bowl of soothing familiarity that Americans often link with childhood memories. This timeless staple also leaves room for creative flair, whether swirling in a hint of cream or pairing it with crackers. On sweltering summer days, a crisp and refreshing side wins hearts with minimal fuss. Thinly sliced cucumbers tossed in a tangy dressing highlight how speed and convenience can merge seamlessly with satisfying taste. Historians trace cucumber cultivation back over 3,000 years, with evidence in ancient India, though the tradition of quickly pickling them for salads gained traction much later. Food enthusiasts joke that this dish is the best way to turn a watery green vegetable into a bona fide star at potlucks. Each bite offers a cool snap balanced by a delicate vinegar kick, creating a pleasing contrast in both flavor and texture. The process remains remarkably straightforward. Slice, season, stir, and serve. This simplicity and accessibility make it appealing for busy households, ensuring that even novice cooks can achieve a crowd-pleasing result. Some add onions, others incorporate dill or a pinch of sugar for extra zest, reflecting how flexible this old favorite can be. Indeed, cucumbers contain a high water content, which supports hydration, practical for those warm months when thirst quenching is essential. Long before fancy nut butters dominated grocery aisles, a beloved combination of peanut butter and bananas reigned supreme in many American homes. Referred to fondly by some as the old-time peanut butter and banana sandwich, it gained traction in the mid-20th century as an affordable yet satisfying pick-me-up. Historians note that peanut butter became widely popularized in the United States in the early 1900s, while bananas, thanks to expanding imports, evolved into a household staple. This distinctive pairing offers both creamy consistency and a soft, subtly sweet bite that fuses into a delightfully nostalgic treat, promising convenience for busy families needing a quick snack. Some enthusiasts joke that the only challenging part is deciding whether to toast the bread, but the crucial element is the dreamy melding of textures. Accessibility, highlighted by easily sourced ingredients, underscores why the sandwich remains iconic despite changing food trends. It also provides a modest dose of potassium from bananas and protein from peanut butter, underscoring its practicality. Now, when it comes to dieting, some people like whole wheat instead of the usual, and for them, I have another skillet-based meal. Whole wheat no-knead skillet bread is exactly the sweet deal that it sounds like. Throw out everything you know about bread making because I'm about to actually blow your mind. You take whole wheat flour, yeast, and water, and that's it. You don't need to knead this bread at all. It just leaves on its own and rises perfectly, thanks to the whole wheat flour providing a nutty and reliable base for the bread. It takes just 3 things to make this loaf, but it's the perfect way to get bread on a lazy day when you don't feel like going all out or getting up and going to the nearest store just for bread. Also, sometimes you just don't have the ingredients to make a good loaf of bread, and in times like that, this is a way better alternative. This kind of bread started mostly in rural areas and in neighborhoods with a bit of a lower average income during economically stressful times, but it's because people coped in such innovative ways that we have lifesavers like this today. Who could ever resist pancakes? Since we are visiting the all-time classics which last even today in almost every child's diet and life, it would be a crime to go without mentioning Grandma's beloved fluffy pancakes. Did you ever wonder what made hers so much fluffier? Pancake houses across the nation seemingly met their match when confronted with a 60-something-year-old grandmother who loves to spend time obsessing over her grandkids. So what is it that home chefs discovered that several brands and franchises could not? There are a few tricks they would use, like letting the egg whites relax in the batter before cooking them, or having impeccable flipping skills so just the right amount of heat gets to each side. Some would just whisk and beat their eggs and batter so well that you got one supremely thick stack of pancakes. It seems the secret was simply the years of pancake-making experience that are hard to replicate. We have dishes here that are fit for parties, family gatherings, and lunches, but what about something that works as a lunch and can be served at a wedding? Cucumber party sandwiches are exactly what we are referring to. And if you thought a dish that could work on both your couch and next to your best friend in their wedding did not exist, think again. Maybe you do not think too highly about cucumbers, and we would not blame you. Recently, not a lot of hit dishes have made much use of them. That explains why these went out of style. But tracking back just a few decades ago, it was a pretty common sight to see a long table lined up with cucumbers, layered between herb cream cheese fillings, lemon juice sprinkled all over, sitting in the middle of 2 perfectly toasted slices of bread. The Fluffernutter Sandwich, created in the early 20th century, is a classic American dish often enjoyed as a sweet treat or snack. This nostalgic sandwich is made by spreading peanut butter and marshmallow fluff on white bread. The dish typically uses soft white bread, which complements the creamy textures of the fillings. The brand of marshmallow spread traditionally used is Marshmallow Fluff, invented in 1917 by Archibald Query in Somerville, Massachusetts. It was originally sold door-to-door before gaining widespread popularity. The sandwich became a popular childhood treat in the mid-20th century because of its sweet and satisfying taste. The term Fluffernutter was coined by an advertising agency in the 1960s, solidifying the sandwich's identity. So you have a sweet tooth, but you have no patience for sticking with the delicate and sensitive process of baking. You need some easy recipes, and lucky for you, that's exactly what I'm peddling today. For you, my dear effort-allergic viewer, I have sheet pan granolas, which are actually so much better for you than you'll even think to realize. Don't worry, I hate baking too, and I especially hate eating oatmeal as it is. But with this combination, I can kind of get the best of all three worlds. Rolled oats are used as the base of the granola before nuts and seeds are added, finally topping it all off with a honey or maple syrup glaze that really helps the oats stick together and seal that crunchiness in. End result? You get your protein, your sugar, and your dry fruits together all in one, and it barely takes a minute of baking. Get a crunchy and nice granola going for literally none of the effort or money. Isn't it the most American thing ever to work smart and not hard? The thing is, we could all use a lot more oats in our diet than we normally have right now. It's not just the protein thing. They have a host of other benefits. You know how much fiber is in these things? That also has the added benefit of keeping you full for longer. You got to invest in different ways of getting it in your system to keep things fresh. There really is nothing like a grilled cheese sandwich, a meal that you have seen in the media, in kitchens, all over neighborhoods, in stalls and diners, and just about everywhere else. Sometimes you are in too much of a rush to make anything proper, or you just might only have some cheese and bread on hand. Everyone still needs to eat, but does that mean we have to wash down something we do not even like the taste of? No! And the popularity of grilled cheese sandwiches is a testament to that. But how did these sandwiches get so popular? Well, most Americans can only remember them as a loving meal that their grandmother would make in times exactly like what we described. The best part is that regardless of what kind of bread or cheese you like, every combo works just as well, which is something we cannot say about many dishes. Another wonderful appetizer was broiled Parmesan tomatoes, which were ready in about half an hour and were the ideal sidekick for some boiled or fluffy eggs alongside biscuits. Fresh, ripe summer tomatoes, filled with concentrated flavor, topped with an olive oil spray and kosher salt, sound like a really good time, not to mention the main selling point. The Parmesan cheese added so much flavor and style to this that it became a trending option in the mid-90s and was a frequent sight in many cookbooks in the States, especially those aimed at housewives and home chefs. Many of Grandma's broiled Parmesan tomato recipes are available online, showing how they have stood the test of time and continue to be passed down within families. Scrapple, a traditional Pennsylvania Dutch dish, dates back to the 17th century. It's a savory breakfast item made from pork scraps and cornmeal, formed into a loaf and fried. The dish uses specific animal parts like pork liver, heart, and trimmings, combined with cornmeal and spices, creating a unique flavor profile. Scrapple is usually fried and garnished with maple syrup or ketchup, making it versatile. Scrapple is considered one of the earliest forms of American comfort food, as it was created by German immigrants who settled in Pennsylvania. It's popular for its rich flavor and association with Pennsylvania Dutch culture. It became a regional specialty due to its resourcefulness and distinctive taste. Scrapple holds cultural significance as a testament to frugality and tradition, often served with eggs or toast. Not really a soup person? Salads might be more your thing, in which case I have one that's also a pretty good starting point for people who don't have much time under their belt in the kitchen. Wedge salads are something you can make on any lazy day or when you're feeling low and don't want to spend a lot of time cooking. And let's be honest, we all have those days. One thing they don't tell you about cooking is that it kind of drains you, and you don't even feel like eating what you made afterwards. But of course, everyone has their own pace. Whatever your process is, though, a wedge salad will help it get along faster. All you need here is a wedge of lettuce, some blue cheese or ranch dressing, depending on what you're going for, and a few strips of bacon. You get smokiness, crunchiness from both the bacon and the lettuce, and a lovely dressing or melted cheese to tie it together. What's not to love here? There are times where you just absolutely do not feel like getting up and doing anything, and in those times, microwaving some mac and cheese can be really helpful. We are sure most of us have memories of spending the nights at our grandparents' and waking up to some mac and cheese in the microwave, or coming home from school to a bowl that you could lose your worries in. The cheesier it was, the happier a kid would be after eating it, and even at this adult stage of life, a hot bowl can bring all those memories flooding right back in. Mac and cheese started growing in popularity when Mississippi farm families adopted it as a regular meal, and from there onwards it spread to a lot of families everywhere across the states. We thank God for that little fact every day, since we do not know what we would do without it. Stuffed potato pancakes are a delight to have on their own, but they go great with any kind of syrup or dip too, and if you had grandkids coming over and did not know what to make, this was a surefire bet. Potatoes have always been a massive staple of American cuisine and culture, partly because they form the basis of many simple, affordable dishes. An example of this is how in the Depression there were several potato-based dishes that people regularly adopted, and they stuck in the cultural landscape of American cooking much longer after the dust from the recession had settled. In states like Ohio, Oregon, and Idaho, it is still common to see potato-centered dishes taking the #1 spot. So imagine the rounds they made back when they were truly in style. Taking a break away from the McDonald's and the Wendy's, stuffed potato pancakes usually have bits of meat stuffed in them like sausages, pork, or ground beef. And it is not only packed with flavor, but a great dish to eat if you are looking to bulk up too. Grandma does know best, after all. German pancakes, also known as Dutch babies, are a unique breakfast dish that originated in the early 20th century. These pancakes are often topped with powdered sugar or fruit. The ingredients for German pancakes include eggs, flour, milk, and sugar, creating a batter that is poured into a hot skillet and baked in the oven. The key ingredient that gives German pancakes their distinct puffiness is eggs, which cause the batter to rise dramatically while baking. These pancakes are typically served with a squeeze of lemon and a dusting of powdered sugar, enhancing their delicate flavor. In the 1960s, Dutch babies gained popularity in California, thanks to Sunset magazine featuring the recipe in their publication. German pancakes are also commonly referred to as Dutch babies, a name popularized in the United States. Maybe you want to start your day off on a citrusy note and start it right too. You know, refreshing, clean, light, all that good jazz. In that case, you need a morning tonic, and not just any old dusty recipe with sparkling water. You need the real thing. I'm talking lemon juice, honey, and ginger. It's a 3-ingredient pick-me-up, but it's got what you need, and it barely takes a minute to mix and shake, and voila, you have your tonic. As legitimate as anything you'd get out of a doctor, it's definitely something you gotta try at least once every now and then. The spiciness of the ginger gives it a kick, but the honey makes it roll into your taste buds with a sweet sensation, rounding it all off with a bright, citrusy afternote thanks to the lemon juice. It's good for your skin, it's refreshing, it costs barely anything, and it'll help your mornings go all the better. What's not to love here? I mean, if people are so willing to invest in Gatorade and other sports drinks that promise to replenish your electrolytes and provide up to thrice the hydration, why not put some stock in an actual healthy, all-natural tonic? Plus, it doesn't even feel like you're chugging some cheap drink. It actually feels and tastes good to sip. So here is a dish that you may not see coming or be prepared for, but it actually works really well this way too. We are talking about peanut butter jelly and banana toast, which is exactly what it sounds like. You take some toast, preferably toast until it's crunchy, then lather it with as much peanut butter and jelly as you desire, and layer it with sliced bananas. You may have only heard of that combo as a part of some protein shake or smoothie, but it works just as well sitting on top of bread as it does in a glass. This is also a perfectly refreshing option for when you are low on work, and grandmas obviously kept that in mind. When they could just tell that somebody in the household needed a sugar rush and a kick from behind to get them into high gear, they would feed them a lot more toast than was probably wise, but it would work every time. This sandwich would go great with some fresh fruit fluff salad, which was perfect for all kinds of occasions. Casual brunches, bridal showers, birthdays, and holiday gatherings all felt a little incomplete in the northern areas of America without this fruit fluff salad. It was a pretty good summer dish, and it had an assortment of fruits that worked well and bounced off of each other's textures and tastes. Stuff like a creamy lemon base supplemented with fresh strawberries or blueberries was a typical standard for a fresh fruit fluff salad, but you could also get tropical with kiwis and pineapples. A lot of things worked, and the reason it goes great with a Croque-madame is because ham was usually used as a topping for this dish too, so it was a great pairing. Buttered grits, a southern staple, originated in colonial America. This simple yet beloved dish is usually served as a side or base for other toppings. Made from ground corn, grits are cooked with water or milk until creamy, then butter is added for richness. The dish is synonymous with Southern cuisine, particularly in Charleston, South Carolina, known for its love of grits. Grits are remembered for their comforting texture and versatility, which made them a popular breakfast dish in the 1970s. Traditional or unusual toppings like cheese, shrimp, or gravy enhance the dish. The dish's cultural significance lies in its association with Southern hospitality and hearty breakfasts. In some Southern states, grits are even considered a delicacy and are often served at special occasions and celebrations. Similarly, sometimes you need to cut back on the junk and eat a little bit on the greener side of things. Stuff like black bean soup has always helped out so much when it comes to cultivating a better environment for your body on the inside, and the fact that it's inherently so simple only helps it be more of an all-rounder that you definitely need in your arsenal. All you need for this is just your garlic, cumin, onions, and black beans. The garlic or cumin are up to you. You can pick which one to add between the two, but again, it's a very simple soup that is so beginner-friendly that even people with no cooking experience can get up and make some. It takes nothing and leaves you feeling a lot better and stronger than you otherwise would, so maybe invest in some black beans next time you go grocery shopping. So our next dish comes with a bit of a history lesson that goes way further back than the time of our grandparents. Ham and cheese quesadillas may have been what they were binge-eating daily and serving up to us, but where did quesadillas ever come from? Apparently, they were not an American invention, and nobody could really find a solid name that they could credit with making the idea up first, until people did some history digging and found out that. Spanish settlers that tried their hand at taking over Central America in the very early days of the land brought Mexican culture with them. The rest, as they say, is history, and the people of the USA took to quesadillas very well. Especially easy variants like the ham and cheese one, which meant that you almost always had a snack that hit the taste buds just right and made you full too. The best part about quesadillas is that they are so quick to prepare and easy to make that you can enter Flavor Town in just 10-15 minutes, which is a pretty good sell for anybody. Convenient food is always the best after all. Perfect for themed dinners or Christmas lunches, Sangria gelatin rings are about as high class as they sound, and they are as close as you would get to fine dining at home. Well, at least if you did not want to spend half your day or the night prepping for the meal. These were especially popular in 1952 as part of the menu for French-American or gelatin-based restaurants. The best part about these were that they were pretty easy to make, and they involved adding boiling wine to gelatin, then cooling it, adding in berries and grapes to finish it off after it was done thickening. Despite how it might feel too sweet, it actually only had around 117 calories, so you could demolish a bowl or three without worrying too much. Koogle spread on toast was a quirky and delightful dish first created in the early 1970s. The dish consists of Koogle, a flavored peanut butter spread slathered on toast. Koogle came in various unique flavors like chocolate, vanilla, cinnamon, and banana, making it a playful alternative to regular peanut butter. The spread, manufactured by Kraft, became popular due to its unique and sweet flavors, which appealed to children and adults alike. The most popular flavor of Koogle spread was chocolate, which was often enjoyed as a sweet breakfast treat or snack. Koogle was discontinued in the late 1970s due to declining sales. This one's a bit of a fancier dish, so I wouldn't blame you if you skipped past because the theme so far is some pretty easy food that you can make anytime. But fancy doesn't mean complicated, and there's nothing complex about this goat cheese olive tapenade sandwich. All you need is sourdough bread, or really any kind. It's up to your preference, goat's cheese, and an olive tapenade, and you have yourself a delicious little sub that you can enjoy easily to fill up the tank. This dish has some Mediterranean influences because in that cuisine, not all sandwiches typically always involve meat. A lot of them are simple ones that use a few ingredients like this, but the satisfying crunch and the sourness of the olive tapenade with the sweetness of the goat's cheese make for such a compelling bite. It kind of made me wish Subway would start doing tapenades too, but it's good to have your own collection of homemade sandwiches different from what you get from your favorite takeout spots. People have been putting things on top of crackers for centuries now, and enjoying it as a simple biscuit elevates meat, cheese, and just about anything else to a new height. Tuna salad with crackers was just one of many popular additions to the trend, and it is a fan favorite across the nation. Preparing the tuna salad takes a little time, but assembling it on crackers takes less than 10 minutes. Grandmas had so many recipes like this that they could just be made in a flash but would fill you up or be a kind of snack you have never had before on your own. Tuna salad on crackers is something you can make too just as easily, so give it a try if you ever have just biscuits and some tuna laying around. Croque-madames involve layers of melted cheese smothered between freshly baked, crisp white bread. And to top it all off, there's an intense, smoky flavor from the ham. The best part about it is that it takes minutes to make, and it was one of the more fancy dishes that people would create when they were feeling like having a bit of an extravagant dinner. Everyone deserves to treat themselves sometimes, but for home chefs, especially grandparents, the biggest treat is often just seeing everyone eat up every last bite of what they've made. That was never a problem if croque-madames were the dish being served, because nobody could resist this classic American sandwich that did more than its fair share of justice to ham. Poached or lightly fried eggs as a topping also made it work a lot better. And by the way, they are called croque-madames because the poached eggs seem to resemble women's luxury hats in the 90s. Mape Bars are a type of donut that was first created in the mid-20th century. This sweet treat is typically enjoyed as a breakfast item or snack, especially in the Pacific Northwest, where it has become particularly popular. Mape Bars are made from a light and airy dough that's shaped into a rectangular bar, then fried and topped with a sweet maple-flavored icing. The Mape Bar is believed to have originated in Portland, Oregon in the 1920s, with local donut shops offering this unique variation of the classic donut. The type of dough used for Mape Bars is similar to that of traditional donuts, ensuring a soft and tender texture. In 2013, the mayor of Portland declared June 7th as National Donut Day to celebrate the city's rich donut culture, including the iconic Mape Bar. Continuing the protein train, if you find yourself keeping the workout part of things on lockdown but not being able to manage the diet part of things, I got a protein skillet with chickpeas and eggs with your name on it. This one makes use of 3 simple things: chickpeas, eggs, and spinach, and it's just as good as it sounds. This is like a natural-born steroid, the kind of thing to send your muscles into high gear immediately and get you meeting those protein requirements without any of the prep work. Don't feel like whipping up a fillet of grilled chicken with mashed potatoes and prepping your meals a night in advance? Don't feel like subjecting yourself to scoops of protein powder? Get ripped the natural way and have the benefit of a superfood all in one. This is one of the most refreshing skillets I could recommend, and honestly, it's one of the best post-workout meals too. Plus, expanding your horizons past just meat as a source of protein helps a lot. You get to take in different benefits of all kinds of foods while you also get what you originally wanted in your diet. Sometimes a cut of steak is what you need, but sometimes it wouldn't hurt to try some peas and beans. Cinnamon sugar toast is a delightful breakfast combo that was a go-to for grandmas, not just for their kids and grandkids, but for their own mornings as well. Sometimes all you need from the world is a good toast and a healthy hit of glucose, and cinnamon sugar does that like nothing else. Cinnamon in particular started getting a lot more popular as an ingredient during the times most of our grandmas were alive, since a lot of bakeries started using it with maple syrup and vanilla, though it was always a popular choice. It is just that little variations in daily meals did not start popping up until the 1910s or 1920s. And since then, cinnamon has become a mainstay highlight of all things that scream USA food. Speaking of wanting to watch your waistline while still feeling you are eating food meant for humans, roast beef finger sandwiches were the go-to for that genre of food because they ticked most boxes nutritionally while also having an explosive and vibrant taste. Something between a mid-work deli sandwich picked up from the corner of the street and an aromatic beef plate with veggies made by your grandmother, roast beef finger sandwiches offered the best of three worlds: size, taste, and health all in one, since they were usually served at brunches or bridal showers in a min sandwich format. Health-wise, they gave you more than just a good dose of protein, and that depended on what you would use as toppings. You could use olives, peppers, or other spices, as well as lettuce, tomatoes, and spinach. How do you prefer your sandwiches to be, mini or otherwise? Pancake on a Stick, a fun and convenient breakfast treat, was first created in the early 21st century. This dish combines the classic flavors of pancakes and sausage into an easy-to-eat form, typically enjoyed as a quick breakfast or snack. The dish consists of a sausage link coated in pancake batter and then fried until golden. Pancake on a Stick became popular when it was introduced as a convenient food option by companies like Jimmy Dean. Unusual variations, such as using different types of sausage or adding cheese, have added to the appeal of this dish. In 2017, Pancake on a Stick was featured on the menu of select fast food chains, further popularizing this innovative breakfast option. The dish has since become a favorite at state fairs and festivals across the United States. Let's get started. The entire premise of this roller coaster is that these dishes barely take anything from you, any money, time, or effort. With just a little bit of the work, you can make stuff like baked egg cups and get 3 times the value for your money you otherwise would. After all, instead of those curries, stews, and pizzas, this just takes 3 whole ingredients. Everything you'll find on this list is built conveniently like that, and it tastes pretty good despite the minimal effort. Here you can expect a flavorful combination of eggs layered upon bacon, a combo I know you don't want to miss at the family table. How does something like that feel when you bake it with some cheese? What does the dish start to look like if you substitute one of those core 3 ingredients? That's the beauty of these dishes. They can be anything you'd like them to be. You just need to trust in your vision. Plus, every doctor tells you over and over that you need more eggs in your diet, and it's like, okay, I get it, but that doesn't make eating them any more fun. On the flip side, all the best coaches and trainers will tell you that enjoying what you eat is the most important part of keeping a diet. Personally, I'm starting to see where their rhetoric is coming from. This is definitely better than boiled eggs. Egg salad was another classic that people would often come home to when visiting their grandparents for Thanksgiving or just on the weekend in general. Egg salad typically consists of mayonnaise, mustard, and green onions, which add both color and crunch to the dish. When you think of a salad, your mind tends to immediately think boring and unimaginative, but egg salads can toss those opinions right out the window with just one bow. Especially if your grandma left her recipe laying around in some journal or cookbook she compiled all throughout her life. Egg salad in particular would go very well with rye, and it would work as a sandwich too. Grandmas loved bringing this one along for family picnics. Ambrosia fruit salads are one of the finest ones on this list so far, and they had all kinds of fancy and fresh ingredients to get the party going. You would not think yogurt, mandarin oranges, pineapples, mini marshmallows, and coconut could synchronize so well, especially in a dish like a salad. But they were a crowd favorite for lunch dates and home cooking. Some whipped cream on the top made it a very creamy and delightful option to go for if you wanted to watch the calories and still enjoy yourself. Think of it as like a Watergate salad without the pistachio. Some Hawaiian home chefs would mix this with a typical Hawaii salad, which usually also had bananas and cherries, as well as cottage cheese. Which would you prefer if you saw both sitting pretty on a salad bar? Johnny cakes, a traditional American dish, dates back to the early colonial period. They are typically enjoyed as a breakfast or side dish, offering a hearty and simple meal. The dish is made with cornmeal, water, and salt, forming a batter that is fried on a griddle. Traditionally, Johnny cakes are made with stone-ground white cornmeal, which gives them a unique texture and flavor. These cakes are cooked until golden and crisp, then served with butter, syrup, or other toppings. Johnny cakes were a staple food for Native American tribes in the Northeast, who taught European settlers how to make them from local ingredients like cornmeal. Johnny cakes became popular when they were embraced as a traditional breakfast food in New England and the southern United States. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and let us know which one of these 10-minute recipes will you be trying out next.